Hey there, it's Alan. It is October 18th, 2014, and I'm 4.5 months on T. So, time for an update. Um, uh, so, I am quite happy on T, doing my transition. I feel like it was a really good choice. As time goes on, I just feel more and more like myself, more and more like awake as a person. Like I'm more in touch with my gut feelings about who I am and what I want and what I need. So that's really amazing. It's a new thing. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's from the hormones. I'm saying that's from just going on this path of living as myself, as how I want to live. It's really empowering. Looking back to the huge long period of time when I was debating transitioning, and I would think about, or I would have the thought, like, well, I'm doing okay just being female and not transitioning, so why go through the trouble of transition? Like, that's gonna involve so much horrible, stressful trouble. Why deal with that if I'm, like, okay living as female? But now, looking back at that, I feel like I would never, ever trade how I feel now for being okay. No. Like, comparatively, like, that was really not fully living. So, I was really not being totally true to myself, or not living up to the potential that I have to be like a fully functioning, thriving human being. Yeah, and sometimes I hear other people have those thoughts, like when I see videos of people who are deliberating whether to transition, they're like, well, I want to transition, but I don't know if I'm actually going to do it because it's so much trouble and I'm okay how I am. Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. People make their own choices for their own valid reasons. People have different things going on in their lives, but it's like if you want to transition, and if you're able to, despite the usual hardships that go along with it, like, I don't know. If you feel like you want to, like, don't waste time not being yourself. That just sucks, in my own experience anyway. Yeah, so I've been feeling good. Feel more confident, I feel happier, I feel more hopeful. Like in the past, when I would feel depressed or despairing, just because of life difficulties or whatever, or like existential crises, I would feel like, there's no point in life, like what am I really getting out of life? It would be nicer to not have to deal with being alive, basically. Yeah, that's a really sad mindset. It's very serious. Yeah, like, seriously sad and not good. But now, even though I've had a lot of really big troubles going on, because, like, I'm going through a divorce, I've had to move, I've had more work than normal, other significant things on top of that I'm not going to get into, that could easily make me feel despairing, but these days, my approach is not like, life is not worth it, but rather, no, I'm gonna hang on and fight through this, because I'm not gonna let myself and my spirit, which I have newly found, be taken away from me. I don't want to lose it. So that's a really drastic difference. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful that I live in a place and time where I'm able to be myself and transition. I know not everybody has that. So I hope that that can change. So let me shift into talking about physical changes and stuff. So, yeah, 4.5 months on T. A word about the injections. So for the last couple months, I've been doing injections of 50 milligrams of tea once a week, and I've been feeling pretty good. I think I have more energy on that than before when I was on too high of a dose, because too high of a dose can make you not feel so good. And I got worse at doing the shots myself, because I would end up deliberating for like a half an hour before doing the shot and would get so anxious. Not because of the pain, it doesn't hurt that bad. Just, it's like this instinct within me prevented me from doing the action of sticking the needle in. That sucked. So now I have a different technique. I forget if I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it briefly just in case. So now I do my shots at a time of day where I can have some energy, like right after I have my caffeine in the morning. What is especially good is right after I've exercised, when I'm kind of pumped up. And also, exercise releases the endorphins or whatever it is that raises your pain threshold. So it's good to do the injection right after exercise. At least it's easier, in my experience. And also, another technique that I use sometimes is doing my shot right before I have to leave the house for an appointment or something. And then it's like I have to do it in just a couple minutes or else I'm going to be late. And I'm like, I can't be late. I can't make this person wait. So I have to do it right now. And that tends to work for me. So I'm glad that I thought of that. So I have been able to do the shot much more quickly using those techniques. And then also, instead of doing it in my thighs, more often now, I do it in the butt muscle, because I feel like that hurts less, and I am able to, like, twist around enough to do it. And I think it seems like you're less likely to have complications with the butt muscle than with the thigh, at least for me. I feel like maybe I've lost a little bit of fat off of my thigh since being on T, but the butt muscle is still, like, there's enough there to work with. Because with my thigh, which I did try yesterday, I stuck the needle in, and I'm not good at plunging it in quickly. So I put it in just a little bit, and then I was, like, pushing it in more, and it felt weird. It felt painful. I don't know that it was a nerve, because I think that would probably be worse, but maybe it was a blood vessel or something. It was painful, and I did not want to push it in anymore, so I just took it out. And then this blood gushed out, and I had to, like, slap tissues on it, and press on it for a while. Well, not a while, like 15 or 30 seconds. That was disconcerting, but not terrible. Not as much as I would have thought. And it stopped bleeding very quickly, so then I had to use a whole new, like, syringe, because I thought, well, the syringe, I mean, come on, how infected could it be if I'd put alcohol on my leg, stuck it just a little bit? Is it really that bad to stick it in a different part of your body if you put alcohol on that part of the body? I don't know, but I thought, is it really worth risking that? Risking, like, the possibility of getting an infection, having to go to the hospital or something? No. So it sucked to have to lose all of the testosterone that was in that syringe, but safety is more important. So this video is already pretty long, and I haven't even talked about changes. So, for a reason that I'm maybe not much of a good reason, I'm just gonna stop and then start a new video and talk about changes. Sorry for that inconvenience.